expectations. I wrote it when I was walking around in New York City. I was staying at the Ludlow Hotel and kind of just cruising around the neighborhood there. And it's, you know, that neighborhood I've known for quite a while because I spent a lot of time in the south end of the city, and there's just a lot of energy and a lot of creative motivation there. It's a romance song. It's a song about, you know, finding love and being in a younger time in my life when I fell in love every 5 minutes with a place and a girl and everything. And it was just, it always brings back so many memories, that city, you know. I'm kind of one of those weirdos that writes a lot of lyrics before there's any music. Like, I wrote Ludlow walking around in the city, so I certainly didn't have a guitar strapped to my back. So I was definitely with my phone looking like a weirdo going, you know, running down the alleyway, you know, like, that's kind of how I wrote that. This song, the production of it and everything was very 1984 New York, you know? That's what it felt like to me. That was the records that in the mid-'80s were really hitting me over the head and over the heart. Tom Petty and Bruce Springsteen, and even like early Mellencamp records and Don Henley records, where there was like synths and pads and big, huge drum sounds as opposed to the little tight disco drum sounds from the 70s that they were used to. But combining it with their with their organic roots instruments, with accordions and acoustic guitars and electric guitars, and Ryan Adams, who I've worked with a lot. You know, we've worked with him on some stuff, and he worked on this record, and he plays the guitar solo on that song as well, and the piano on it. We kind of co-conceptualized the whole sound of the record and the whole feeling, and so we kind of were on that same page of feeling this very heavy, epic kind of, you know, bombastic 80s does the 50s thing. And that's my favorite eras of records, you know. I definitely learn something new every time I make a record with a different kind of artist. I mean, I don't just work with rock bands or pop bands, or it's like all over the map. I don't want to sound like a dickhead, but there's a lot of people that call themselves producers now that basically just have a laptop and a bunch of pre-programmed sample beats, and they just hit a button and go, I'm a songwriter. There was a lot more knowledge and musical ability required back in the day to be a producer. I mean, Quincy Jones being one of my favorites, who just, I mean, this guy would sit in a taxi cab writing out horn charts and string charts on the way to a session by hand from his head. But I'm always inspired when I see in modern music, especially in rock and roll, people that are still having musical knowledge and the ability to put arrangements together and pick up an instrument all over the place and play it and put it on the tracks and stuff. I'm sorry, I'm kind of a hopeless romantic, that I really appreciate the fact that somebody can build something from the ground up. I like everything, and I grew up definitely very into gear, and I went through my phases. I think I'm in a comfortable place now where I'm not like over obsessed with it like I probably was when I was younger. Oh my God, you have to hear this mic cable as opposed to this mic cable. Like, I lost everything in a fire along like 10 years ago, and it was a collection that would make a lot of those people cry. The only guitars I got out of the fire were the two that I had on me in New York City when the fire burned it all, so back in LA. So I had my 62 Hummingbird, took it on tour all over the world with me for years, and would just throw it on the ground, and like, it was not precious. I bought it for $800. It had holes all in it. I still have that guitar, and it's very important to me, that one. So I'll never take that on the road anymore. I love anything that's interesting and inspiring. The 4-track that I just made, that I actually recorded some of the stuff on Stay Gold, it's a TAC 244, and I bought it off of a dude on Reverb. And I actually recorded a whole 4-track album of outtakes and demos and stuff that's coming out on Record Store Day.
So try to tell me that you're alright.
You know, I think we all go through that period where we'll do anything to be successful or famous or have notoriety, and I think it takes a while to figure out. I don't think a lot of people have that figured out at 20 years old. Good on them if they do, and there's some artists that blow my mind that just really have a good sense of themselves, and they're great writers. But I unfortunately was not one of those. Being a producer for other people and writing songs with or for other people has been an incredible outlet for letting me concentrate on maybe that side of it, whereas that frees up my ability to make records for myself however I want. It made it so much more enjoyable, music, you know, instead of just like, well, yeah, oh my God, the music climate's changing, people are using these guitars now and this sound and blah, blah, I gotta sound like that. And it's just like, I'd rather just try to be the jeans and t-shirt of rock and roll at this point, because I don't think that'll ever not look cool, you know.